In this video, we're going to talk about how to scale your consulting business, especially the order that you should do things in and why. So let's dive in. A lot of folks, when they think about BoldHaus, you guys associate us with winning corporate clients. But the truth is we focus on three things: winning corporate clients, expanding inside those accounts, and helping you scale your boutique services firm. And that's what we're really going to dive into in this video right now. When it comes to scaling your boutique services business, and when I say a boutique services business, I'm talking about professional services, consulting services, corporate training programs, executive coaching, leadership coaching, etc. And when you have a business like that and your brain is the core product that you are offering to the marketplace, it's you and your expertise, the scaling process is quite a bit different than, let's say, scaling a franchise or scaling a restaurant business or scaling a product business, because so much of what brings intrinsic value to your company is your brain. So you really have to think about this quite a bit different than 99% of the marketplace out there. So let's look at the three work streams that you need to think in terms of when you're scaling your firm. The first work stream that you have to focus on is your client service delivery bandwidth. This is your ability to serve more clients, to have the bandwidth to have, let's say, 15 or 25 clients, not 3 to 5 clients. So let's look at what's involved in that work stream. The first thing to know is this is your profit center in your company. This is what you produce. If you were a manufacturing company and you produced yo-yos, then the ability to manufacture more yo-yos, that manufacturing facility is your profit center, because you can only make as much money as you can based on how many yo-yos you can manufacture and put out. Well, when you're selling your expertise, you're selling people's brain power. And so when you're selling people's brain power, your client services team, that's your profit center. So what comprises your profit center? This is where you're gonna find what we call your bench. And your bench are experts that have expertise that you can put in the game with your clients. So we kind of borrowed that term bench from companies like Accenture and Deloitte, because they have benches with tons and tons of consultants on them just waiting to be assigned to a client engagement. So this is your bench. And in the beginning, your bench is typically comprised of independent contractors, because you don't want the overhead of having a full-time salary. But as time goes on, you might in fact find that you need people to be either part-time or full-time with you, and that's great. But that's your bench. You can also expand your client service delivery bandwidth by productization of your expertise. And in fact, we have a video that even talks about how you can turn your expertise into something that you can sell online that you may want to go and check out. When you productize your expertise, typically that is in the form of on-demand training programs, some type of licensing, AI tools, frameworks, research that you sell. Think about a company like a Gartner, for example. You know, what does Gartner do? Well, in part, they conduct a lot of research and then they sell that research. So it's not just their Gartner analysts that do consulting work, they also have research that they sell as well. And you can also increase your client service delivery bandwidth by creating membership programs. We're seeing so much growth in this space right now because community and the fact that decision makers and leaders inside of organizations really crave community. Membership programs are really continuing to grow. A great example of this is the CISO network. That's a network of corporate information security officers. Organizations like Gartner have membership. Organizations like person have membership. So you can expand your client service delivery bandwidth, again, which is your company's profit center, with either bench expertise, more consultants, trainers, coaches that you can put in the game to work with your clients, or through productizing your expertise, or by building some type of a membership program. So those are 3 ways to expand your client service delivery bandwidth. Your next work stream are your firm operations. You're now running a boutique services firm. What's interesting is whether your company has 1 person in it, just you, or you have 20 people in your company still has to do all of the same functions. This is a real wake-up moment for folks because, oh my gosh, in the beginning you can feel like, I just want to keep it me, myself, and I, keep it really simple, but your firm still has to do all of the functions that a bigger company has to do, only you're the one trying to do everything. So there comes a time where you have to scale your firm operations. When we're talking about firm operations, we're talking about things like client account management, project and vendor management, client contracting, finance like AR, AP, payroll, human resources. All of those things have to happen inside your company. So that has to scale as well. And then the third work stream in terms of scaling is client acquisition, scaling your ability to acquire more clients. And in this case, we're talking about things like scaling lead generation, scaling relationship building, scaling pipeline management, managing what your pipeline looks like, scaling your sales process, and scaling your client retention and your lifetime customer value, which is so much gold in that last one. So that's your third work stream. So you want to scale your consulting business, your coaching business, your services business. You've got 3 areas to scale: client service delivery bandwidth, firm operations, and client acquisition. Now the thing is, everybody starts with number 3, client acquisition, but that's usually a pretty big mistake to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. If you don't scale your client service delivery bandwidth first, then number 1, your brain will not even see the bigger, longer-term opportunities that are out there. You're going to be so exhausted, so overloaded with all of the work you have to do with your existing clients, keep all of the operations running inside the company, go out there and do the marketing, sales. You're doing everything yourself. Your brain, your subconscious brain, is going to look at bigger opportunities and go, I don't even want to see that right there because that's just more work for us. So if you don't have a bench of people who can help support your clients along with you, or a membership program to put people into, or some type of productization that you can sell, your brain won't even see it. So you're going to miss those opportunities because you have nowhere to put more clients. Number 2, you'll always create a feast or famine cycle in your business. So if every time that you leave the cave and go out and slay the tiger and pull that tiger back to the cave, if you are the only person in your business that can serve your clients, then all of your time, energy, and attention is going to go into that client, and you're not going to go out and do marketing and business development. So every time you come up for air after you finish an engagement, you're now going to be back into a famine, and then you'll have to find one client. So you're just literally stuck at all times in feast or famine. That's why you must start with expanding your client service delivery bandwidth first. And I'll tell you, a lot of folks get really nervous about this. They feel like, I'm not ready to do that because I don't feel like I have enough clients coming in. We hear this a lot from folks who first join our BoldHaus collective. Once they understand how to do this with very low risk, without taking on guarantees or payroll or any of that, but just having the people ready to go and how to structure the bench so that you're still making a good profit, you're not biting off more than you can chew. Once we show people how to do this, it's like the whole world of opportunity opens up for them once we show them how to truly expand their client service delivery bandwidth so it's not all on their shoulders. Conversely, let's say you try to scale your firm operations first. Let's say, no, Angelique, I don't want to scale my client service delivery bandwidth first. I actually want to scale my firm operations first. Well, if you do that, I can tell you what's going to happen. Your overhead expenses are going to go up because you're going to put systems in place and support team in place. Maybe you hire a part-time bookkeeper, maybe you hire a part-time executive assistant, maybe you hire a part-time project manager. Well, cha-ching, 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 right? Each time you hire somebody to help you with streamlining and scaling your firm operations, you're spending money. There are overhead expenses, guys, that are attached to that, but you're scaling that before you have more revenue coming in the business. And before long, when you don't have many clients, maybe you're only working on 1 or 2 clients, or maybe you're really in a famine with none, you're going to start to wonder, why do I need all of this support? I don't have any revenue coming in. And then you're going to start looking at your bank account dwindling down. You'll panic. You'll fire all of your support staff that was there to help you scale your firm operations. Typically what we find is this will send people spiraling down a rabbit hole for a good 12 to 18 months. It's like they go it's like chutes and ladders, all the way back to the beginning because they panicked that they hired all of these people, but they didn't have the revenue. If you try to scale your client acquisition first without the client service delivery bandwidth, then you start scaling, you start putting more money, more time, more energy into acquiring new clients. Great, only now you have all these new clients who are raring to go, they want results now. You're going to be so stressed out, you will not have the time to properly train and mentor your bench of other experts to be able to deliver services to your clients at the level that you expect. And one of 2 things will happen. Either you'll just do it all yourself because you feel like you don't have time to train anybody, or you're going to throw your bench members into the game without proper training and experience. They're going to screw up. Your client is going to get upset. You're going to be like, why did I even bring these people on? And again, chutes and ladders, you're going to take that chute all the way back to square one on the board all over again. We've been doing this for 19 plus years. Our focus is on land, expand, scale. And I can assure you, having worked with thousands and thousands of coaches and consultants and service providers all over the world, that if you scale in this order, it is going to be more effective because when you acquire those new clients, you're going to have the people to put in the game and you're going to have the systems in place to make sure that the expanded number of clients that you're serving are being served at the same level of service and expertise, that the experience for them is as good as when you were working with just 2, 3, or 4 clients. So this is the order. This is why you need to do this. This is also why BoldHaus exists. We've been around for nearly 20 years now, as I said, working with coaches, consultants, and service providers all over the world. And the way that we work with folks is through something called the BoldHaus Collective, which is both a training program and a community in one. One of the best parts of being a member in our BoldHaus Collective is access to our land, expand, scale vault with over 160 on-demand lessons, frameworks, scripts, tools to help you do those 3 things. Land corporate clients, expand inside those accounts, and scale your firm. But it isn't just an online community. One of the most amazing parts of the BoldHaus Collective is getting to come spend an entire week with me in our All Systems Go week. It's me and the BoldHaus faculty really helping you to grow your business the right way, especially if you are an expert-based business selling to organizations. So if you've never checked that out before, I just want to invite you over to BoldHaus.com. Head to our BoldHaus Collective page, look at all the amazing details there, watch the videos, then book a call with our team. It is an opportunity for you to get to know us and for us to get to know a little bit more about you and see if the collective would be a great fit for you to help you scale in the right order and to do it in a way that's profitable. Because let me tell you something, growth without scale is utter madness. You don't want to do that to yourself. All right, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to join me in our next training video. It's called How to Sell Expertise Online, and I referenced it a little bit earlier. It gets into the details about understanding productization, and if you do want to take your expertise and sell it online, if it's something you've been thinking about, you really want to watch this video next and avoid some of the huge mistakes that we have seen folks make when they're trying to bring a level of productization to their expertise. So I've dropped that link for you right below in the description. Go ahead and click on that now, and I will see you in literally 1 second.